Hey guys, Tamara Higgins here. I just wanted to pop in really quick today just to share some of my top tips for kind of keeping your mind clear, keeping sort of that mental focus, and being super cognizant and aware of sort of what we're allowing to seep into our minds, whether it be for our network marketing business or whether that be sort of in our personal lives. So yesterday I had actually chatted quite a lot about, perceptions and perspective on things, right? We talked a bit about, comparison and that sort of stuff, and comparing sort of your journey and where you're at in your business and your personal life to other people's sort of journeys and where they're at. And so today I just wanted to drop in and share some of sort of my top tips in all of the personal development that I've been doing, not only for myself on a personal level, but also involving my network marketing business that I run on social media. I have just been diving into like so many amazing things. And so I figured I would create this channel so that I could share that journey with other people. And hopefully some of the information and the tips that I'm sharing with you guys might be something that someone here who comes across this video could use. So today I just wanted to share a couple tips. So my first tip is not overthinking things. Okay, so lots of times in our personal lives, in our business lives, our day-to-day work lives, just in general, we will have numerous conversations with people, numerous experiences with people. We will have different feelings, different conversations, right? People are going to share their opinions, their thoughts, all that sort of stuff. And one of the things that, I have found in doing a lot of my own personal development is more often than not, so many conversations that we have, especially with a business like network marketing, where we are primarily carrying on conversations with people on social media, there is zero emotion, right? That is relayed in a text message or in a message on Facebook or on Instagram. So I find one of the number one things that we tend to do is overthink the conversation that's given to us, the opinion that's given to us, or the thoughts given to us, right? Sometimes we even overthink, simple questions that are being asked, right? So one of my number one tips is to not overthink things, okay? So one of the ways that, I've been super focused on that is literally reading words for words, right? Sometimes it's really difficult because like a text message conversation or a messenger conversation has zero emotion. Sometimes it's hard for us to not sort of insert emotion while we're reading something, right? It's super simple for us to do that, especially depending on sort of what headspace we're in on that particular day. So one of my number one tips is to not overthink, okay? My next tip, I have my notes here just so I don't forget what I wanted to touch on. My next tip is reading, okay? Or investing time in yourself, in your own personal development, okay? So this is huge on a personal level, work level, doesn't matter whether you're in network marketing or just in general in terms of what you do for your full-time job, right? Doesn't matter what it is. If we are not taking time to read, to, watch podcasts, YouTube videos, anything that is personal development geared, anything that is going to help to grow and expand your mind, your way of thinking, your, perspective on things, right? Sometimes our perceptions, those sorts of things. If you're not putting in the time to read these things and sort of fill your mind with, different bouts of knowledge and different sort of tips and skills and that sort of stuff, you are not going to be able to maintain sort of that positive mindset, the ability to work through some of the tougher things. Again, whether it be on a personal level, business level, work level, whatever it is, the more you pour into your mind, the better off you're going to be in terms of being able to manage feelings, emotions, and things that you might come up against in your daily life and work life. So that's my second tip. My next tip is making sure that you don't compare yourself, okay? You don't compare your story to other people's stories. In my video yesterday, I talked about how, comparison is really, really difficult because that's kind of the world that we live in, I think the sort of example that I used was, the Contigo water bottle and having a celebrity drink out of the Contigo water bottle and then everybody wanting it because the celebrity had it, right? It's like, oh, it must be good if that person has it, right? And it's just sort of that comparison thing. So, if you're talking business-wise, if you're looking at where you're at in terms of like, your rank in a company, or what you've accomplished in a company, but then you're looking at somebody else and you're comparing your journey to their journey and comparing your chapter to their chapter, right? They're never going to line up and it's never going to be the same. And comparison results in us feeling down on ourselves, not feeling worthy, not feeling like, you know, we are capable of that success or worthy of that success. So stop comparing. Okay, it's like one of the toughest things to do because you're constantly going to be looking at people as like a role model and somebody that you want to follow, but you really need to be careful how much of a comparison you're throwing in there, right? You need to be watching them, you know, to learn, to grow, right? But not in a comparison aspect, right? Your story isn't going to line up with theirs. My next tip is cut yourself some slack. Okay, like, and I am horrible for this. Like, I am that person when I set a goal, when I have something in mind, something that I want to accomplish, I want to go for the gusto and I want to be able to say at the end of the day that I achieved that goal, that I finished what I set out to do, right? But the reality is, guys, especially when like we're constantly growing as people, we're constantly growing in our businesses, we're constantly growing as parents or brothers or sisters or friends, right? Life is literally a journey of like growing and collecting knowledge, and people change and things change. And so you really need to sort of focus on, you know, if I didn't get this, or if I didn't get that, you know, or maybe it took me a little bit longer, or whatever the case might be, cut yourself a bit of slack. Okay? Never let those moments be the reason why you start feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, defeated, right? Cut yourself a little bit of slack and just kind of reset those goals and that game plan. Okay? So that's absolutely one of like my favorites, because it's really something that, you know, none of us, we never give ourselves enough credit. We never give ourselves enough slack. We're always way too hard on ourselves. So that's a huge one. The next one is mistakes. Okay? So everybody's going to make mistakes. We're all human beings. Nobody's perfect. Sometimes we're going to screw up, right? That's just a reality. And you know what? When you're talking about your personal life, trying to grow as an individual, you know, talking about business life, work life, whatever it is, recognize mistakes are going to happen, and you need to know that that's okay. Right? Making mistakes is not a bad thing. Making mistakes is where we are given opportunity for growth. Mistakes are what are going to show us the direction and the path and where we need to go, right? Or what we need to do differently next time, or how we need to change things. So mistakes are okay. And we really need to be able to drive that into our heads, that mistakes are okay. That's not the end of the world. It's not the end of our lives. It's not the end of our business. Mistakes are okay. Just learn from them. And my last tip is don't let yourself get comfortable and stay comfortable, because when you're comfortable, you're not continuing to grow. Okay? When you are super comfortable, you are not diving into personal development. You are not diving into like who you are as a person, where you're at, where your mind's at, where your heart's at. When we get comfortable, we tend to just coast. Okay? So every time you set yourself a goal and you climb that hill and you get to the top of that hill and you're like, yes, like I got there. This is exactly what I wanted. This is where I wanted to be. Then you have to build the next hill for yourself to conquer. Okay? You have to build that next hill, because if we don't continue to step out of our comfort zones, we don't continue to grow. Right? And I'm not saying that stepping outside of your comfort zone has to be something insanely huge. It doesn't. It just needs to be uncomfortable enough that you are going to continue to move. You're going to continue to grow, and you're going to continue to absorb everything and anything that you can around you in terms of increasing that mindset, increasing, you know, whatever it might be, right? Increasing your skill set, your knowledge, right? Whatever it is. So don't stay comfortable, okay? Comfortable tells you you're going to stay in the same place. It's the same as like, you don't want to get out of bed in the morning because your bed is super cozy, comfy, and warm. I don't want to move, right? If you don't move, you're not accomplishing anything. You're not getting anywhere, okay? So don't stay too comfortable. So that is all I wanted to share with you guys today. I wanted to keep it nice and short and simple. So if you've liked this video, click the like button. Don't forget to click subscribe. And if there's anybody that you feel could benefit from hearing these tips, please feel free to share. I'll chat with you guys soon.